Keith's with us. Now, Keith has a lot of experience, besides a ton of experience with online marketing and companies. He's been six-figure earner in multiple MLMs. But here's a little bio of Keith. He was president of Keith Rhodes and Associates. Basically, it's a construction consulting company. Some of the projects he worked on was the Bronx Zoo and Mike Tyson's Las Vegas home. He was also the founder and executive director of the New York City Games, Inner City Games Foundation, where he was working with Arnold Schwarzenegger to create the New York City organization. Organization still exists in a new name, After School All-Stars. Hundreds of thousands of inner city children have participated and benefit from the programming. Also, special counsel to the president and CEO of the Council of International Education Exchange. I can almost not read this. And also, an interesting project here, helped the Arthur Ashe with the foundation or formation of youth program that used tennis as the hook to years. The program has evolved in year-round basis, impacting more than 45,000 youth and their families. All right, and also the co-founder of the New York After School All-Stars, formerly the NYICG, which again was working with Arnold Schwarzenegger to bring it to the New York area. Now, Keith has a lot of big contacts, and he's going to do a lot with this business, and he has a lot of clout. And I wanted to do this because I want to show you that we're attracting professionals into this business. Okay, Greg was on Saturday, also a professional completely. And you know, that is really a big tribute to what we have here, because this is not just attracting MLM or those kind of people. So Keith, if you go ahead and everything's working today, which is awesome. I can see the camera and your speakers working and your mic, right?
I just unmuted, and thank you for trying to struggle through that CD of mine. You did an admirable job. And you know, I want to thank you for having me come back and speak to everyone. I find it, I look at it as an honor to be able to share, and hopefully maybe something I might say might move people to do what's in their best interest. And that's always been my mantra with when I'm doing business, is I try to give people enough information so that they can make an informed decision about what's in their best interest. And I'm very analytical, and Bart has mentioned, I've had a tremendous amount of success in network marketing, but I feel like it's been a very bad experience overall. And the reason why is, every time I've been in a network marketing business, I've made a lot of money. There's no doubt about it. I've made a considerable amount of money, and sometimes I've made money very fast. I've made over $100,000 in, you know, one organization in less than 90 days. Another organization, I made $500,000 in less than 6 months. So I've had tremendous success personally. But in every one of those situations, the thing that bothered me most was I tried to bring so many other people in and lift them up and have them share in the success. And I wanted it so badly for so many people. But unfortunately, most of those people didn't do what I did, didn't work as hard as I did, couldn't recruit like I could recruit, so they didn't make money. And it got to a point where I basically had said I was done with network marketing, because I felt I still was doing harm, even though my goal was to do no harm, until I saw ZUKUL and guaranteed signups. And I felt like I found the Holy Grail. And, you know, I try to be impeccable with my words. So when I say things, I try not to get into, you know, exaggeration. I try to be very precise and specific. So I'm going to give you some of my specific projections of what I see the future of ZUKUL will be. And when I say things, I expect people to hold me accountable and say, well, Keith, how did you come to that? And I then want to give them the surgical explanation of why I've come to the conclusions I've come to. So this morning I left a post on my Facebook page where I said I believe in 2016 ZUKUL and guaranteed signups will end up being the biggest story or the most impactful situation, arguably in the last 2,000 years. It's pretty strong statement, and I mean that. I don't mean that as a figure of speech. I mean that realistically because of the multitudes of people that are going to be enriched by this, the shift that it's going to cause in a world that is based on scarcity to a world that is based on abundance. And I believe we have the vehicle, and I believe that as time goes on, more and more people are going to see this inevitable reality. And the beauty is when you look at the people like Bart, like Darren, like John, like Jeremy, our leader, and you see that the spirit, the sponsoring thought of what they're doing is not just to enrich themselves, because they understand if you help others get what they want, you are going to get what you want. So they understand by enriching the multitudes, it is inevitable that they too will be enriched, and they'll be enriched in a manner that it is priceless to know that you've helped so many. And that's another thing that has attracted me so much to this is as you heard my bio, I've been very involved in nonprofit world and very involved in causes that I passionately want to help these causes. Fortunately, in order to help these causes, you need money. And here now I see we've been blessed with a vehicle where with all of those causes, we can now provide them with the necessary funds to do the necessary work. When I'm talking about the most impactful business in 2,000 years, I'm talking about a business that can lead to the end of world hunger, that can lead to every human being having water, food, water, shelter. This I see is a reality through this vehicle. So I am compelled to try to do everything I can to have as many people hear about this, find out about it, be educated, aware of this as soon as possible so that the masses can benefit from it. And, once again, I welcome the scrutiny of someone to say, well, what makes you think this? I spoke to a friend of mine who is about to open a bank, and it's a World Bank, and this gentleman is a numbers cruncher. And he's also about to have potentially a new NBA franchise, extremely successful, extremely sophisticated. And when I started telling him about this, I led with saying, I know you're going to say I'm delusional when I tell you what's about to happen. And I understand that. I just said, just hear me out and remember who you're talking to. Remember how impeccable I am with my word. So he heard me out, and then at the end of me telling him what I saw the future, he said, Pete, three things. You either are delusional, you're smoking a lot of crack, or you completely lost your mind, right? And I said, okay, I'm going to give you some information. I want you to take it back and do what you do. 2 hours later, he calls me and he says, okay, I got a few questions. Went through a series of questions, and he said, well, I guess both of us must be smoking something because I see it. And he goes, this is inevitable. This is man. This has to be. This is going to work. It can be no other way. The numbers don't lie. This is going to do everything you said it was going to do. Now, I was like, I didn't need to hear that from him, but it was refreshing to hear someone that sophisticated of a money man, a financial man, to come back and see exactly what I see. Now, once again, one thing I want for the people who are going to hear this who have not pulled the trigger, I want you to understand that I understand people taking time to decide what they want to do, and that's what the masses do. But if you look at the average billionaire, on most every decision they make, it takes them between 30 and 60 seconds to make that decision. Success leaves trails. Bart, I'm going to give it back to you.
Man, you have the vision. I remember that first meeting that we had, and John and I, we spoke to you and Greg for 2 hours, and literally when we got off the call with you, we both sat there for about 5 minutes in awe, and we could barely speak to each other because you get it, right? You get it. And it's great to have someone who gets it so fast, right? Because as you know, in our business, it doesn't usually work that way, right? It's usually built on the other people's backs. So people struggle and struggle and struggle and struggle. And it's funny because we see it all the time when someone looks at our model and they go, I don't understand it, right? Because it doesn't fit the typical model, right? And you know, I love, because this is becoming a really common message now, especially when a leader comes in this business, a true leader, is they have had struggles with hurting people in the past, that they felt like they couldn't do it anymore, right? That this is such a unique and different situation, and you know, and it's coming out again and again and again. And if you are a leader watching this, and you're thinking about joining us, and you're sitting back, we're going to keep bringing people like this on because they're getting it, and I know it's different to hear it from other people. I can say it all the time, you know, because hey, I mean, I wear the T-shirt, right? I'm in. I'm all in, right? This is my end game. That's it. This is nothing else. This is all I do. This is what I'm going to do. So, but I know another thing, Keith, that you know, the other part of the conversation we had that I really sticks with me all the time is the passion of what we're going to be able to do in the future, and the conviction that we know we can actually make gigantic, massive changes. And I'm really happy that Jeremy's hangout yesterday showed the globe on the right, because it really goes to that. What are we going to do? We are going to change the world. We're going to be possibly the biggest company out there at some point. You know, how long will it take to do that? Maybe not as long as we think, but we're going to have a lot of things that we're going to be doing in charity-based, and you know, the nonprofit type of thing will come in. It's going to be a big deal in our company. It's something that Jeremy, as soon as we started building this company, said, I want to do this. You know, we didn't do it the way we thought we were going to do in the beginning, but you know what? It's going to be better this way in this company, in the hub of ZUKUL. So I love that. And I know you said something else. I don't even want to repeat it, what you said about Jeremy personally, because you made a prediction about him. But you know what?
If you'd like me to, I don't mind making that prediction. If you don't, if I can share, and once again, I hold myself to my word. So when I say things, I don't say them in lightly. I say them because I've analyzed it and I've dissected it and I've come to a conclusion. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. Jeremy Rush is about to be the wealthiest man, woman, or child on planet Earth. I predict that it will take less than 3 years, maybe 2 years, for that to become a reality. There's only one way that can happen. Jeremy Rush must make a lot of other people, not just only multi-millionaires, but billionaires, in order for him to be the wealthiest man on planet Earth. And let me go a little further. I predict that when 3 years from now you analyze the impact Jeremy Rush has had on others compared to every other billionaire in the top, let's say, I think there might be 400 billionaires or maybe a little less. I guarantee you, when you take the top 20, top 50, the people that Jeremy will have enriched compared to them, he will be the combined number to the top 20 to 50. The top 20 to 50 people, wealthiest in the world, how many people they've made wealthy compared to Jeremy Rush, combined, he will be at least 20, it might be as many as the top 50 if you look at the numbers. That's how much of a dramatic impact he is going to have on planet Earth. And guess what? All of us on this panel and all of us who are in now are on that long list of benefiting from what he has created. Humbly submit.